We'll see if SK is able to answer that in kind, if Skeanz has anything planned for that as we get into pick and ban for game number 1. And we had a question of would we see leader Ori again? It's banned out first thing on SK's side.
They're
you got to
learning.
win on it.
They're learning, which is incredible because it's just been left open constantly because you're like, well, leader's not an Orianna player. And then game 1 plays it, doesn't look so hot. Game 2, he had a great time. So eventually learning that maybe we don't give him across. But the Akali, another pick that he had a great old time on. But it's going to be SK. We're banning away the Orianna.
Plus the Nocturne, plus the J4.
Is still left open, which seems fairly broken at the moment.
Gonna go for the Rise instead. So locking in a strong solo laner for Jackies. And that, like you said, Karma is up, Ezreal's up. That is kind of the common pairing that I see. Gets a lot of push in lane. They're at least going to lock in the Ezreal to start off. And the Xin Zhao as well. I do expect the Karma behind that Xin Zhao.
Yeah, it's, I suppose, kind of saying, though, you can take the Ashe Seraphine here if you want to.
True.
And maybe you're, like, still going to be fairly happy with it, but not. Actually, just going to go for the Vi Kai'Sa instead. And then still have the opportunity now to take the Karma. But I thought you might want to try and go for, like, some answer into the pushing lane. But we have seen Ezreal Karma do relatively okay into that Ashe Seraphine.
But Ezreal, I typically think of as a very safe AD carry. Vi point and click ult. Kai'Sa's going to be able to follow that up. So to me, this says this is kind of like just lock down Jopa and stop the young AD carry from continuing his momentum.
It's also oftentimes you'll leave Ezreal by himself on that mid wave to try and fight against the Kai'Sa. But if you land that Void Missile, you can shoot yourself in and then immediately kill the Ezreal. Like, you have that assassination power. So that's why so often we see Kai'Sa as an answer into the Ezreal a lot of these matchups. But as you say, like, the dive is still going to be relatively tough because Karma shields, the Xin Zhao being able to knock people around, and then still you've got to figure out what the rest of this composition is going to be. I think you've still got decent tools for SK to fight against what's a pseudo dive comp.
Yeah, and now they can also ban away some of the other support pairings that go well with the Kai'Sa as well. So Nautilus, we were actually looking right before coming into the game, and you were like, is Nautilus really the highest pick ban presence champ?
92% pick ban, and I was like, that seems bizarre. But yeah, he just gets banned so consistently, or locked in, as he's kind of that one answer we see in the engaged support role
into the enchanters. Yeah. And I believe this is now the 20th ban for Nautilus in just spring alone. If the stats that we're looking at are correct, we can maybe get production to confirm that before we
no, I think we spent everybody else and see what happens.
Okay, fair enough. I like that strategy, actually. I do that a lot at the LCS. Just say stuff and then let them correct you later. Rakan as the other ban, though, so more of these engaged supports that can help set up the Kai'Sa and also follow up or set up the Vi as well.
Yeah, the other, like, kill tool basically for the Kai'Sa that's in my head is like something like Leona, but Leona very much you have to play hyper aggressive in this matchup and it's not the best of times, so I am wondering what they do.
Rel just got buffed.
True.
I'm wondering if they maybe go for something like that. I mean, it can be tough into the Karma just because you get shoved in so aggressively early on. And the movement speed can make it hard to actually land, but we'll see what they go for. It's going to be Gnar and Azir banned on GX's side, so SK still need to lock in some solo laners. Wunder. Okay, it's not going to be the flex pick, Malphite, because they already have the Xin Zhao, but he did make some bold claims earlier.
Yeah. I mean, if Lot takes Jace, maybe we have a chance, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. Either way, yeah, I think, I mean, Aurora has kind of been one of the answers that we've seen into Rise, and Nivea has been the other one. But we just have to see if leader is comfortable. Our Galio, also decent, can kind of tank a lot of that damage from the Rise in the early stages and match those roams, which is fantastic. Plus, you're seeing dive, well, kind of dive on GIANTX off of the AD carry in jungle, so the Galio can help support us.
And it's almost a preemptive pick to counter a Rumble if they want to go for that too, because I'm not seeing a Rumble ban. A Rumble Vi is kind of a standard combo as well. You don't want to pick double AP into the Galio and also be self-counter picking. So GX instead going to hover the Scion right now. They were looking at the Renekton as well. I don't think that they'd go for AP in the top lane, and it is just going to be frontline tank.
Yeah, I think as well, like you kind of need something that deals some AD damage, because if you end up going, as you say, for Kai'Sa's somewhat AP damage as well, so you end up in a lot then into the Galio. So Nico, ton of sense, push, hope for the engage. It does mean, though, again, you're kind of playing very heavily into the hands of this Galio, which has me a little bit nervous if I'm GIANTX, because you kind of look for like this wombo of Nico, Vi, and Kai'Sa all trying to one-shot someone, and Galio just kind of saves the day.
Yeah, he just throws up the Shield of Durand and just says, nope, you're not going to get past me. And also then factor in the, again, we already mentioned the Xin Zhao ultimate. Even Gwen can go immune, so this is kind of hard comp to get on top of here. SK has a really good kite back, not the strongest move forward. Really the only engage tool that they would have is like Xin Zhao just jumping in with a Galio following him up. But when you look at GX's comp, I think that SK are happy to say, we're going to let them come into us. They're going to be Zion ulting, they're going to be Kaisa ulting, Vi ulting, all of these engage tools.
It's also you got good answers then for the 1-3-1 later on with, you know, the Gwen being able to play through Sion on the side. You've got Galio who can match the Rise. So I think you just got a lot of tools there. So I think if this is the game for SK, I think they've got like good skirmishing early, good early game setup. And when I think a lot of my problems with their gameplay has been their performance in the early game, I think this is where I want to see them try and kickstart themselves into the mid game.
Fair enough. Well, players are already on stage. We're going to get into game 1 of GX versus SK shortly. SK again picking up their first series win. GX currently sitting with 1 series win themselves, hoping to continue the streak as well. We got the offensive versus the defense comps, the sword versus the shield. We got GX versus SK. And also, we have a fun stat breakdown. Yesterday, in the 2-0 win, Wunder achieved his 300th win of his career. So shout out Wunder.
Wow.
That's a lot of wins.
I also had it in my head that he would just be at more, because I think back to like his time on G2, but Jackie's getting caught out a smidge here.
Yep. And also that is an LEC only stat, not factoring, you know, global events and such, but still impressive for Wunder right there. As we saw a little invade right there, the ward placed by leader. So they're going to help spot out where Isma is pathing towards. Took some chunk of damage, but traded it right back into Jackie. So actually kind of an odd start here for the mid laners, not having full health bars.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely benefits leader a little bit, because if you can look for the like all-in, where you get that double passive punch, you have a chance here as leader to try and take down Jackie's like later on, but still, once you can kind of keep yourself safe as Galio, you've done your job and all you have to do is match. So it's not about so much as leader winning the lane, so much as just kind of getting through it as best you can. Yeah,
you're able to, even if you don't get that lead yourself, impact the side lanes very well as Galio and help out your Xin Zhao anytime you get invaded as well. But I'm still thinking that GX is going to be the ones pulling the trigger more often than not. They have the engage tool, so we got to keep our eyes on those. Isma starting on the bot side and will now be spotted on that ward. And we'll start to path up. Leader does get a nice little trade there. But with the Vi pathing topside towards the Sion, I'm expecting more of just a full clear, go for the reset after the Scuttle Crab, and not going for an early lane gank like we sometimes can see Vi's do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just more of a case of like bog standard when it comes towards the jungle clears. And as I say, that Skeanz is immediately going to invade. So we'll see how this one goes, because you've got push on top and also some control for leader in mid. But I don't know how quickly he can steal this away as Skeanz.
This would be a very bold move as he jumps over. That is a smite from Isma. And he's able to secure the big wolf. So throws up the take note emote. And we'll just walk away for now. Skeanz is still in the neighborhood, but Isma's instead just going to look at Wunder right now. Skeanz is going to be a little behind on this play. Wunder slowed down by Lot now. The ball breaker flashed by Wunder. Flash forward from Lot. Lands the knockup. Wunder in trouble. And Isma with first blood.
That worked out beautifully for Isma. He will lose his glue buff as a result, but turn it into a kill. And should, I believe, be in possession. Actually, just going to reset, so I'm curious now what his game plan is, because he's lost his topside for that.
Yeah, loses 2 camps. It's the buff plus the Gromp now. He's going to go for the reset and head straight down. I imagine the bottom Scuttle Crab, because if you think that Skeanz is still hovering around, Jackie's could be in a bit of danger right now. But Isma's actually covering the gank right now. Sees Skeanz. We'll use the ball breaker just to send a message right now. Gets a big chunk of damage onto Skeanz, who will answer it right on back. His leader behind him, but Isma winning out on that little skirmish.
You know, Jackie doesn't have the TP to get back, so Isma would love to try and contest the crab. Wunder here as well. I don't know if this is it for Isma. He's been wasting a lot of time, so lost 2 camps on top. Yeah, I mean, this is Isma will spam things forever.
Yeah.
It has been a thing where people have asked him to turn it off, and it's just not happening. So, but it does mean like Isma now has basically just been doing laps of this bush for a little bit of time, and now is going to go in and get the Krug respawn.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, at least it's some, but he did. Getting first blood feels fantastic. That's the dopamine rush. You get to bag, you get a buy, you're like, oh, I'm ahead.
Oh, of course, yeah, but he's like, look at, he's level 3 to Skeanz level 4.
Yeah.
Skeanz has just got both crabs. Like, sure, you're getting the Krugs, but you also haven't been able to clear out on your bottom side, so there's still going to be a camp lower as you try and go back down to that bottom. Actually, sorry, he did get his bottom side, so at least we'll have that. But yeah, it's just It's an alt move here from Isma.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of freestyling at this point. Skeanz will actually walk up and be spotted by Isma as the Raptors spawn, but now Isma's just going to run away. And yeah, it's a bit of an odd start, especially considering just how Isma had been playing so far in Spring Split. Incredible stats across the board, and a lot of that just from his invade style. And this time it's him getting invaded on.
And now it's Skeanz, as you say, who wants to go for it again. He's actually going to take away the Wolves here, knowing that Leader's in position. So now Isma has to go back towards his bottom side, whereas like Isma already could have been doing his Wolves and then into his bottom side, so wouldn't have lost it again. So now Skeanz gets to rotate instead. Back through, may catch Jackie's here as well.
Ghost popped early, and Jackie's does get to safety. Has to use the Summoner spell. What an intriguing jungle game so far. We've had a lot of kind of like invades, answers, a game of chess going on right now.
Yeah, because the thing is now, if you're looking, you get to kind of go, so you've done the Wolves, you get to go cross here, 2, 3, 4, and you can still cover any sort of move play here if you wanted to try and go in towards the Dragon if you're on the side of Isma. So now Isma has to go back up towards that top side. It's just kind of, a singular camp is there because his Wolves are going to be spawning a good bit later.
Yeah.
So now Isma's just kind of falling behind and doesn't have the camps that he needs to keep up.
And it's funny to say that because he does currently have the gold advantage, but that's just from the first blood.
Yeah.
He will eventually fall behind, especially in the XP department. And getting towards that level 6 earlier on means you can control the Dragon, you can control the Grubs, and SK theoretically are poised to get some early objectives here as that Dragon has spawned.
But also crucially now for like this next Scuttlecraft that helps you get to that level 6,
Yep.
Isma won't have access to that upgraded smite because he hasn't cleared the camps to get there. So now you got an advantage on both Dragon and everything else, plus Leader taking a chunk of his HP bar.
Yeah, using the Shield of Durant for the actual resistances instead of trying to go for the taunt, as now Wunder, still no flash available from the earlier gank, has level 6 up as Laure will not land the ultimate. Sidestep on the Vault Breaker, but I don't know if they needed that one to land as Jackie's Realms warps up for the kill.
I mean, everyone moving topside, and Isma managing to get 2 kills now on that top side off of what were a bit of precarious positions in the jungle. It's kind of helping him stay in this one.
Yeah, I mean, we spent all that time talking about how he's falling behind on the clear. Oh, he's not going to be able to get all of these camps. Well, sometimes your solo laners are like, I don't care if my jungler has the camp, the XP. I want him to impact my lane and help me out. And putting Wunder behind this far, I mean, this gives, you know, gold to Jackie's, gold to Isma, and he's still not that far behind.
Also, crucially, with Skeanz then going for Dragon, it means that now Isma gets 2 camps on the top side. So suddenly, he's now going to be back in it as he starts to get these 2 camps, can rotate back into his own jungle as the Wolves start to spawn, move across. So I think if I'm Skeanz at this stage, I try and look for some sort of invade onto the bottom side, but he's actually gone for the reset. So he's moving back to this top side, and there's nothing here.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting call there from Skeanz. Maybe just to defend the Raptors. He's going to check the other camps just to make sure that they're gone, and then the Raptors will be spawning here soon, but Isma's not even looking at those. Has hit level 6 and has continued to spam the take notes emote. I have been paying attention to that. I was unaware that that was a thing.
Yeah.
But now I know. As Skeanz is actually hovering top side, so he knows that the camps are gone. But he would have been spotted, I imagine. I didn't see the exact path he took in. So it's unknown if he's spotted, but he's actually straight onto the blue buff, and Isma is not in the neighborhood. So this is going to be a successful invade from Skeanz now.
Yeah, I think Isma's just happy to go, right, you know what, I've gotten my Wolves, I've gotten the red buff steal, and also the Krug steal. I'm happy to give blue and then start to move back down to this bottom side. We'll potentially give up Void Grubs, which should give Skeanz then a little bit more of that objective control.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if Isma wants to then try and look for some sort of play bot. Has level 6, has the ultimate available, and you've got Kai'Sa and Jund there. It feels like a very good gank angle.
Could be the first big explosive play of the game. We've had a couple of ganks topside, but that gank bot side could get explosive with the Pop Blossom, with the cease and desist. But I will say the picking up grubs for the Gwen comp feels pretty good. Like, oftentimes grubs don't amount to that much, but when you have a side laner like Gwen that's going to be into a Scion, it's going to make Scion's job a little harder to actually stop these turrets from going down, because Wunder just has to walk up auto at once and you get that burn on it. As Jackie's again trading on the leader right there. But currently, its advantage is still for GX in terms of gold. When you look at just the top half of the map, bot half, it's just been Jopa and Mikyx shoving it in. It's kind of a quiet bot lane, all things considered.
Oh, Jackie's did get
landed just at the very edge of the clip. Skeanz gets the win, becomes lightning. Audacious charge in. Ghost is back off cooldown, so Jackie's does run away. Pops the surfs up and channels back.
They're just about able to escape away from that. I thought Skeanz might have been able to clip him with that third auto attack, but not able to do so. And it's just been a lot of focus from SK towards this mid lane. And this is something that we saw yesterday as well when Leader was on the Odoamne. They had Mikyx constantly roaming mid. Skeanz was playing heavily around mid. It definitely feels like this is the game plan. And when you do have like a Xin Zhao that can be enabled by a Galio and by this Karma, it makes a lot of sense to try and see if you can get that snowball there.
Yeah, exactly. As Skeanz trying to get himself back into the game in the kill department, not able to find that first one. Back is stopped there from Jopa. Nice Void Seeker from Noah. As Mikyx also gonna maybe look to catch his wave, maybe look for a back. You gotta be careful here. You're all alone as the back has completed. And now the bot lane will be shoved in. Jopa on the Ezreal, though, has impressed us so far this year, so you got to keep your eyes on him. I know it's been slow on the bot side so far, but it's kind of a matter of time. This kid has really impressed me with what he's been able to do on these mechanically intensive carries.
100%. I think Jopa has been the shining light on SK. I mean, it may be a little dim at times, that light, but Jopa has definitely put it on a show, and I think he has shown that he should be here in the LEC.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I'm SK, I'm kind of happy with a slow game. Like, I think when SK have come alive, it has been off of when their veterancy matters, which is not on mid lane plays, but we'll see if it works.
Yeah, right now, taunt lands onto Jackie's again. No summoner spells from the earlier play, but the Pop Blossom flash from June onto 3! Isma gets the kill onto Skeanz, and the Galio ultimate actually blocks there, but Wunder completes the teleport. Run more from Jackie's to get him back, but it does not save Isma. He has to flash, and now the turnaround play as June joins from the top lane. A follow-up route means the double kill to Lot, and GX picking up a multi-kill play mid lane.
5 members of GIANTX mid to get their 5th kill. They shut down SK's. It was SK looking for the play, but GIANTX have been reading them well on this and making it work in their favor.
That TP from Wunder felt like it was going to turn the play, but the fact that Jackie's gets out with the Realm Warp, I'm sure we'll get a replay of that to look at the intricacies of it, but I mean, Lot not having a TP, he just sign ults down. That was the much more impactful part of that, but it all starts with June on the Nico here.
Yeah, the intent was to try and get on Jackie's, but the protection was there. The knockback on towards Skeanz, the immediate Nico ult, and then as you called it, the TP comes through, but Jackie's able to realm warp away. Skeanz, or Isma is completely fine as well as he has that flash, and I think this flash from Wunder completely caught out Leader. He was not expecting this sign to get through, as he had his own flash but couldn't quite get away.
And also, you flash and still get hit by the Q of the Scion, so it's like, he didn't even save his own life with that. That was a comedy of errors right there, as GX now 5-0 with a 2.7k gold advantage. SK got that first dragon, but you got to imagine SK, or rather GX, will get this next one.
And I was literally just saying, you know what, I like when games are slow for SK, because SK can then rely on their mid-game shot calling, which has been pretty good and has got them back into a lot of tough positions. But unfortunately here, GIANTX, they just blew this game open with that last play, and now they start to put more pressure towards Dragon. Jopa needs to be very careful here. That orb button is nearly up for Isma.
Yeah, Noah has the ultimate available and landed the W, but not going to take it, as GX will now establish their control around the Dragon and start this one up. They got a big gold lead on Isma specifically. A lot of it also on Lot. He did pick up that one double kill, so not exactly where you want it to be, but ooh, Jopa actually goes in aggressively onto Noah, has the exhaust for the 1v1, and Noah does not get the ult over the wall. Jopa with a solo kill, as Isma does get the dragon. Contested, Pop Blossom now on to 2. Stun onto Skeanz, low health bar, but he's able to clean one up. Onto June, now Isma's the target, as Mikyx has to flash the wall. Jackie's chasing down with the Ghost. Leader's buying space for Jopa to rejoin the fight, but flashes over. So kills on both sides. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, and Dragon going to GX.
We were just singing Jopa's praises, and he finds the play, using that exhaust to great effect, and that Triforce spike. I mean, SK, you lose the Dragon, but a couple of kills, some time for Wunder in this top side. He's starting to chip away at that gold lead.
Yeah, Wunder was falling quite far behind on the Scion, and when you look at the damage profile, you want more damage. When you have like this Galio Karma, it's going to help the Xin Zhao, but you still need to kill Scion, so getting Wunder back in, it's great. But this play from Jopa, what a kid.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing that he was able to manage it with the Triforce spikes, the exhaust, the flash forward, he gets the kill. But then this gets a little dicey because Jopa starts moving over, but with the TP can't really get into position. So he has to then stay away from that fight, and I think that's what SK were hoping for, was Jopa being able to reconnect with the rest of the team. But unfortunately, because he can't and lost TP'd in, a lot of flashes have to be burnt to try and get out. But still, they get the kill on bot. They get, oh, hang on.
Back to live, though. We have Realmort coming in, blocking off Jopa's retreat path, so he's just trying to fight his way back through June. Jackie's flashing forward aggressively. Jopa still safe for now, as the ball breaker channeled by Isma gets the slow from the smite, but Jopa is just landing these mystic shots. Shoe Shot Barrage will go a little wide, takes the blast cone to safety, ring around the rosy as he finds Noah again, but Noah will find his revenge as he will kill Jopa.
I mean, Jopa just trying to waste time there. Knew there wasn't really a way out. You also still had Jun sitting in that Rift Tower pit, so nowhere to go. But doing some decent damage to Noah. I think Noah kind of surprised by that one.
Yeah, and also wasted a lot of time. Like that entire time, Skeanz was just clearing the top camps. But it does feel good for Noah to get that kill, regardless. So the Kaisa not falling too far behind, has the Kraken Slayer and some components as well, with the Cole completed now. But man, yeah, he made it close. Yeah. He almost got him.
It does mean, though, you've kind of annulled all the good that kind of happened for SK at that Dragon fight, because GIANTX got the Dragon, they got a kill, but at least you kind of got some gold. For Wunder on the top side and Jopa had matched the kill. Now Jopa giving over another kill. You do get the tower for Wunder in the long run, but it's still kind of like these small mistakes from SK that constantly compound for them. So I want to see if they can clean this up. But for GIANTX, I think they're happy because this could easily be the Rift Tower play for themselves.
Yeah, Jopa lost his individual gold lead. Wunder now getting more gold in his pocket, but we'll go for a reset as the Herald has started. I don't imagine... I mean, they could TP him if they want to contest this. Doesn't seem like they're set up for it right now, as Lot's actually walking up, throws up the unstoppable onslaught. Jopa just sidesteps it, and now Skeanz will jump in onto Lot, who's keeping his attention onto Jopa. Forces the Arcane Shift over the wall, and SK get their bot laner out of there.
Yeah, GIANTX going to throw down the Rift Tower. They know that this bot lane tower is going to fall to leader in the meantime, but should be able to get decent damage on this mid. We'll have to see how much they can steal away after.
And now Raiden maybe towards the top side, as Jopa's actually looking at Mystic Shot. Oh, just barely not enough. As the Herald will charge towards the top side. I don't think it's going to land it. Yeah, but at least we'll, you know, be there for moral support for Jankies.
Yeah, and give Wunder a little bit of gold.
The little Herald that could.
It tried. It really did try.
The little Herald that tried, I suppose, is actually the accurate assessment there. True. All right, well, it's 2 turrets to 1. GX were able to get the Herald and to get that mid turret. Arguably the more, you know, valuable turret because it's the shortest lane. You're able to get a lot of vision control, seeing people path towards the top and bottom half of the map. But it is still turret advantage for SK because they get that bottom turret, and Wunder had gotten that top one earlier.
Yeah, and I think that is a little bit of like GIANTX overgrouping for that mid tower play. But we'll have to see, because I think, again, like GIANTX, they still have a substantial lead. Dragon at 50 seconds. You've got first item completions coming through, 2 items even complete on towards Isma. So I think this is where you can start to play through what is a very strong top side of the map for GIANTX and continue to take these dragons. If I'm SK, I'm probably foregoing this next dragon and just saying, look, we're just going to take mid tower, see if we can try and get all 3 towers down, and maybe we can start to set up some of these plays. Because, again, where SK has been strongest has been in these mid-game kind of map plays, whereas for GIANTX, it has been through like the sheer raw skill of their players where they've been able to outplay in team fights.
Yeah, and it would be just hard to contest a 2-item Scion when your Gwen is still at 1 item and some components, your Ezreal's at 1 item and some components.
Ezreal just never competes with Scion. Yeah. Just leaving him over there, right? He's going to do great against everyone else,
him every now and then.
You know where your strengths lie,
bud. He'll poke him. Yeah, it's like those little toys, like the kid toys that like extend, has a little finger and you poke. It's like that's basically what Ezreal does to Scion. He's like, hey, stay this far away, and then I'm going to look at damaging everyone else. But right now, GX do start up that dragon, and like we had expected, SK will not contest it. True Shot Barrage will spot it out, get some poke damage, but it will be secured.
But the way SK were set up, though, means that they're not really in a position to contest. And now GIANTX, Realm Warping, Jun gets left behind.
Yeah, straight to the mid lane.
But Jopa able to hop out of there.
I like the look there. I mean, theoretically, if Jopa's walking forward to try and hit the wave while he knows that you're on Dragon, maybe you find him unawares. Maybe you find Wunder unawares right now as Isma will Vault Breaker forward. Cease and Desist was available, but I did not in range, not willing to take it. Wunder does get away. But they're looking for plays like that, and I always credit when you attempt it. Either way, it's 2 dragons. The stacking continues for GX, and that will become a problem for SK. They can't give over infinite dragons. They will eventually have to start contesting these, and it's tough when you're the comps that doesn't have engage options. Like, it really is just send Skeanz in with leader ulting behind you if they want to find an engage tool.
Yeah, I do think it's mostly just hey, let's hope that we can win out in the 1-3-1, and then when we get to fights, GIANTX are kind of the team that has to engage on us.
Sure.
And so let's try and play for that instead. But again, SK, just with the fact they're so far behind, it's impossible for them to do so. So now as GIANTX, you kind of get to play your game. Set up on mid waves, push out with Noah, threaten these all-ins, which is a little bit more difficult thanks to the exhaust on Jopa. But just see then if you can play off of this mid point to find picks in enemy jungle and on side lanes and just make things uncomfortable.
Yeah, that exhaust summoner spell was actually pretty genius from Jopa. Got him the solo kill onto Noah earlier, and he still almost killed Noah without it on the next play when he was like half health and finds the Kaisa. Both are at 2 items now, so we'll have to keep track of how that 1v1 stat check looks going forward. But as long as you're able to dodge the Kaisa Void Seeker with your Arcane Shift, theoretically it works well for you. There's an invade from Isma. He's got backup behind him. Leader and Skeanz will realize that they're in a 2v4 with the pop loss and landing on the both. Skeanz is down. Leader makes it to the turret, but the Vault Breaker forward from Isma. Leader lands the Justice Punch, plus another Shield of Durin taunt. Trying to buy as much time as he can, but that is a successful dive for GX as they'll find 2.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. GIANTX play off of mid push into sides, look for picks. They find 2, should get them decent damage onto this tower as well. Like overall, great play from GIANTX.
Fantastic find right here, as it's the entire team.
Yeah, and it's also the 3rd time now Skeanz has not got his ultimate off before Pop Loss have hit him, which just opens up very easily for GIANTX to finish him off. And Leader knows his time is up. It's kind of just hoping he can maybe pick up Isma on the back, but we're going again.
We just have another one right away as Lot was waiting in the brush for Wunder, flashes the wall, trying to get out, smashed down by the big man's hammer. Lot finding a play for GX as Isma goes for another one, but exhausted immediately. Jopa was ready for it. Now he's retreating as their top laner's running low on mana. Jackie's now was looking for a flank, almost locked down, has to flash and ghost as well. So GX sticking around for a while after that initial pick. Another knock-up onto Jopa. Half his health bar down, but Lot doesn't have the team behind him anymore. And again, low mana bar, which means Skeanz and Jopa continue the chase. They are poking down the big man, and they will find the shutdown on the Leader.
SK managing to get a pick back, and just off of GIANTX sticking around a bit too long. They got the pick, they tried to look for more, and it gave SK the opportunity. And this is something that we saw a lot from GIANTX last year, where they would just try and fish that little bit too far in very similar positions. But now, I think they're still okay. Like, minute and a half till Dragon. They should be able to play for this objective. We just need to calm it a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like they threw their lead too much. It's just they stuck around for a little too long. Let's see how that started off, though.
I mean, Lot just sitting in the bush. Yeah. Great play from him. And Wunder tries to flash. Lot follows. And you called it just low mana bar there on Lot. But still, GIANTX want to try and hard force the play. There's nothing really left here. SK are in a decent spot. You've got the Galio coming out of base. And as soon as Isma goes that low, I think you just need to back up and be glad that you managed to escape with what you have. Yeah. Because flashes are being burned right, left, and center here.
Yeah, Jackie's thought that the play was going to go for a little longer, so he's looking for that flank, but then he's immediately pounced on. Will not have the summoner spells for that dragon fight. It's up in 50 seconds. He's got his, core items right here with the 2. I guess really that 3rd item is where Rise starts to become a problem.
Yeah, with Actualizer, it kind of gets a bit silly.
But you're at least at a point where you're going to be very hard to kill with all this health and then the big shield coming in from the Seraphine. But the Dragon's up in 30 seconds, and I do still expect GX to try their best to control. 3K gold lead for them, a lot of that being on Isma.
Yeah, Wunder is pushed in, boss, is trying to rotate towards the mid lane. I don't really think he's in a position to make any sort of plays with Skeanz and Mikyx, though. This is what you were talking about. The lack of engage on SK is definitely something that hurts, where in this position you'd like to try and fish for a pick or some sort of play. But again, it looks like SK just going to forego Dragon and try and play for the tier 2 and top side with Leader instead.
Yeah, get some more gold on your champions instead of going for the objective contest. As Isma's actually not on the Dragon. He Vault Breakers forward. Now cease and desist, but he's going to get locked down by the rest of SK. Isma just throws himself into them as the Dragon was not secure. Jackie's was down hitting the objective when that started. I'm not sure what Isma saw as an angle there.
For all the viewers at home, don't take notes on that. Yeah. That was not the play. That was not what you're supposed to do. That was a major fumble from Isma. And I don't know how SK keep getting away with things like this, but they do. And now SK has 2 dragons and will start to get tempo.
Yeah.
Like, these are the small things that SK kind of find wins off of so regularly in their series. And you can see here, there's no vision. maybe they think they're on Baron or something, but it's just, yeah, I don't get it at all.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher right there. Tail end of it, SK get the dragon. At least Jackie's does get that top turret. So they maintain a gold lead. It's less of a gold lead this time around, as Isma's going to have to, you know, steal his nerves a little bit more before that next objective comes up, because SK bought themselves a lot of time. That was Dragon stacking for GX. They should have had a lot of control around that objective and been on Dragon Soul point right now. But the fact that SK delayed that means that it's turning more into like a Baron contest type of game as opposed to a Dragon's Soul at the Baron.
It's also giving Wunder a lot of time to hit level 16, get towards 3 items, and that's kind of the late game insurance that SK are playing for. Like, I think GIANTX still very much in a team fight, I believe should have it, just with the way that this game is gone so far. But it always can turn if Gwen just finds that one team fight where she gets access to key carries and can just take over from there.
And not that that's going to be necessarily easy for Wunder. You got to get through the Pop Blossom, you got to get through the Scion. There's a lot of CC on the enemy team. But if anybody needs to do it, oftentimes SK does rely on Wunder to be the veteran, to be the player that can kind of get them across that finish line. It's funny to say that when he's 0-4 right now, but it still kind of feels like where this game is trending towards.
Yeah, I mean, he's 0-4, but you can look at in comparison to his loss, right? He's up on CS, he's been constantly getting plates. It's only 500 gold, which at this stage, next to nothing. And you're starting to get towards 3 items. Like, he's matching a lot of the items that are coming through on the opposite side. But the key one is that Jackie's has finished Actualizer.
There it is.
This is where Rise starts to pop off and where Jackie's kind of goes all steam ahead. So if I'm SK, this is where I'm terrified. And if I'm GIANTX, feels like they know this is their spike.
This is also when Jackie's can start doing DPS to objectives like the Baron. So immediately GX say, let's just rip it. SK are going to be a little behind on the play. Wunder has the teleport, but he's pushing it bot side, but they just don't get there in time. The Baron snuck by GX, the TP from Wunder. So SK, did they want to force the fight afterwards? Yeah, the play's done. GX got the objective. They're going to get out.
GX is trying to defend this mid lane tower, let Noah reset, buy that 3rd item, and then come back out. And SK, they got caught sleeping. GIANTX, a great sneak from underneath them.
All right, well, Isma giveth, Isma taketh away. He'll give you the dragon. Trade deal, I get the Baron sneak with the item spikes on my solo lanes. Would you take that trade deal?
I mean, I'm pretty happy with that if I'm
taking that trade deal?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'd rather the first bit didn't happen. But if that has to happen to get the Baron, I'm okay with it.
Well, considering it did, I feel like that was part of this
the grand
bargain that happened here. Yeah, because that was just crazy that they were able to just immediately rip that. Again, it's kind of the realm warp to get them there. I don't know if they were able to cheat any kind of vision or make SK think that they're going somewhere else. But now they have the Baron. They're able to get a lot more gold. That lead is back to 3K.
I mean, really nice job from GIANTX. And now they just get to use that advantage. You can see still SK trying to stick to this 1-3-1, knowing, hey, we're going to lose towers. Let's just try and trade as effectively as he can. But GIANTX know they're in the driver's seat, and they're just sitting in front of this. Like, Lot does not take damage. Nope. Like, he's fine.
And he's got primarily magic resist as well, and that's the Ezreal still poking him with that stick. Yeah.
I think the stick's getting shorter, though.
I think the stick's getting duller. It's kind of snapped in half at this point. Not because Jopa hasn't been playing a great game, but just because his champion's not able to keep up. But we do see a kind of a base race happening here. As leader, he just took the tier 2 and is pushing another wave in. Now TPing behind because everybody from GX just reset. It's only Jun and Isma on the map, and they're going to get Jun. Pop Blossom will be used. Support will still fall. Wunder with the kill.
I mean, it's a cool play from SK, but I don't think they're going to get much off of it. If they caught maybe both Isma and Jun, maybe they crack that mid lane turret, they can get some damage onto the side lanes, but unfortunately for them, it's kind of just a pick on the support, which gives some gold, but a TP burn first, not really the best.
Yeah, and I'm curious what the timer is on Nico's ultimate, because Dragon's up in 30 seconds. Jun will be up in time to make it there. The question will be, will Pop Blossom be
I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's like 50 seconds at this point, so I think he should be fine.
Well, in that case, and yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate death, but it's not going to be game-breaking by any stretch. But it is a little concerning that, you know, GX, it was Isma that gets picked before the last dragon. Now Jun going down this time around. Can still get out there to contest it, but GX need to clean things up a little bit here as these objectives are spawning.
They are having Wunder shadow leader on that top side. He's actually going to reset. I wasn't sure if they were just going to try and put both solo laners to take that the inner inhibitor turret, but it looks like they're just going to back away and take not the fight. So
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And also it's odd to see the Galio in the lane with the Gwen hovering. Typically it'd be opposite. Yeah, I'd see the Gwen in the lane with the Galio hovering because then you can ult in to back up the Gwen. Gwen can also do a little more damage to those turrets, but either way, it's just SK not contesting this time around. As Selfo comes in, Isma has the flank. Pop Blossom is up. It'll land on the Skeanz and Leader, but they just turn their attention on to Noah and Isma. Flash from Jopa. He's still safe. Jopa unleashed on the Ezreal, trying to get damage on the lot as the Resurrection's coming through, but a shutdown out of Kaisa. 80 carried down. SK stand tall as Jopa will live through lot, poking him down. SK find the fight.
That was way too far from GIANTX. They tried to all in onto Jopa, hoping that they could pick him off. But Skeanz, with a hero play on the knockback on the ultimate, denies Jun and sets up then for somehow SK to keep this game going.
Yeah, and that was GX sending it right there. It was Isma finding this flank engage. They preemptively TP, and SK, their comp is happy if you're full sending it onto them and aren't fully prepared for it. They're going to get a lot of gold for this play. Now 1,000 up as they push for another turret here in the mid lane.
How does it happen every time? SK, I don't know what you've done, how you end up in these positions where you're behind, and then it just keeps, it just magically keeps happening. But SK with a gold lead, and again, like 3 items now complete on Wunder. You can see how much work he was doing, but they want to try and pick Skeanz.
Realm up top and a really nice blast cone position there. Skeanz is going to have to try and get out of this one. Got 2 people on him. Big damage onto Jun, and Skeanz is not going down without a fight, but he goes onto the clone! Jun breaks his ankles as Noah picks up the kill.
On the 50-50, he guesses wrong, but he did make a hero play here. Watch Skeanz. So Jopa, arcane shifts forward. That's the go button, but the knockback onto Jun means that he can't get the flash into the position he wants to get on towards the Ezreal. So Jopa gets to survive, kite back in behind, and Wunder comes across, deletes Noah immediately, and then turns back to deal with loss, because honestly he's the only one dealing damage to him now.
And that was Isma's Guardian Angel as well right there. As Noah was able to get back over the wall, Isma loses a long cooldown on that item. That felt like a moment that GX were like, okay, we're going to get this huge pick, this big moment, and then push in and start breaking the base. But yeah, Jopa's able to kite back, and Wunder, it did show up big. We were highlighting that he could do it, even though he was 0-4, and now he's 2-4. He's making a comeback.
Yeah, these are significantly better numbers. And now he gets to play in the side lane and work up towards things like the Zhonya's if he wants to, or even the Rabadons on this next buy. And you're kind of just losing the position now as lot because of all that true damage to really fight against Wunder. So I'm wondering if they will end up moving more members of GIANTX down to that bottom side to help deal with them, or if this just opens up SK then to have much more pressure, like moving Wunder to mid as SK are looking to contest that mid wave and power.
It's only Noah in the lane right now, but it's the rest of SK pushing into the river.
No TP on loss, which is why SK kind of playing around here, hoping maybe someone overextends.
You can always look for the unstoppable onslaught, and he is positioning for that, but that means that they're not getting the shove on that bot wave currently. The wave will group up. So GX are grouped mid currently.
You can see that SK are a bit unsure about how aggressive GIANTX are going to go. Leader basically playing in his own jungle, using those Winds of War to clear the wave, because he doesn't want to commit fully to that wave and not be in range for the ultimate. Now GIANTX have pushed back SK, and they're the ones that are realm warping onto Leader.
Yeah, immediately make the play, and he just ults away. So tag in, tag out. A little bit of hide and seek going on there. And Leader gets back to the safety of his own team.
It does mean SK, though, kind of forced now GIANTX out of their little cubby hole. They were threatening that mid lane turret, so GIANTX are now the ones that have to give up river. But SK don't feel comfortable going for the Baron, so we're kind of just dancing back and forth here, Kangas.
You know, okay, I'm going to take it back. It wasn't tag, it was Red Rover. Do you play Red Rover?
Yeah.
That was Red Rover. Red Rover sent Leader right over.
Yeah.
As they just
and Leader did go over.
He did go over.
Yeah.
Can in fact confirm. Yeah, that wave is still pushing in on the top side, but SK did get that shove mid, and we're back to kind of a standard position right now where neither team has clear advantage on the Rift outside of the side lanes, both being pushed in. Now Wunder's on the bot wave and has the TP available, and the Baron has been started by GX, and they just burst this thing down so fast. Skeanz gets over, looks for the steal, cannot land it, and that's a one-way journey. Jun jumps over the wall, but he'll trade his life for the Baron, I suppose. SK find one. How much more do they want? Wunder's still very strong as they enable him to go forward. Mikyx with the shields, with the move speed, big damage onto Jackie's. Noah's separated from the team, but I don't think he was spotted, so he's going to get this reset. End of the day, it's a 1-for-1 trade, but GX walk away with the Baron.
Yeah, there's pings onto the Dragon, though. Teleport coming in as well to make sure that GIANTX can still keep position. This would be soul for GIANTX. SK trying to deny it, but so long until Skeanz is up. This is a tough call.
Lot TP'd in. He's got the big TP shield, but he doesn't have the team behind him yet. Killer Instinct available for Noah. Landed the Void Seeker. Jopa trying to get some poke down onto Isma. Arcane shift away from the Decimating Smash. Lot buying space for the rest of the team. Noah's going to hit the mid wave right now as Isma got chunked down. Has the GA available again. Remember, Skeanz was the one that died on SK, so they don't have the smite, but if Isma can't get into the pit and hit the dragon, it doesn't really matter, and now Skeanz is back.
Yeah, he's trying to make his way in. Poke from SK is good. Damage not there, but the
as well. Lots going in, and now we got June coming in. Pop Blossom's available. He's only able to get onto one. Jackie's already on a rampage. As Noah free hitting on the Wunder. GX are finding their fight. Leader's gonna go down, but Skeanz will find one in response. Has to flash away, gets the shutdown, but still a 3-for-1 trade in favor of GX as they're just gonna roam warp straight to the mid lane.
They know they've got the damage to do so, and SK trying to get back, but it's 2 members versus 4 on GIANTX. They might just be able to do it.
Yeah, who needs the Dragon Soul when you can just take the game win? It's only a Xin Zhao and a Karma. That's not a lot of wave clear. 25 seconds on Jopa.
I mean, GIANTX facing forward, Actualizer not up, so Jackie's a little bit hindered at the moment.
They got 2 cannons as well. They're just going to turn the attention on the Skeanz, get big damage onto the Xin Zhao. Karma is not enough to save his life, and Mikyx is not enough to delay this game, and GX stumbled slightly, but they will end strong with an ace and a Game 1 win.
Okay, they can find a pick or play, and then it all starts to fall apart again afterwards. So it's just kind of like, you know, you have the bricks, just figuring out what to do with the concrete.
Yeah.
And not getting it all over the
We need to hire an
places,
architect still. You know, you can have all the construction equipment, but you
Yeah.
don't know how to put together the house yet. As GX still on the blue side, SK still on the red, and we have the first couple of bans come through here. It's going to be Pantheon and Akali, so still respect the leader. And there's that Nautilus. Man, he is just maintaining that highest big ban presence. Right
Yeah, because it's not like it's in my head. Because I look at things like the Karma that are super high priority, Orianna, and all these.
Ash,
Yes,
like that,
exactly. But obviously, Nautilus is just very good at answering that. Speaking of Seraphine Ash.
It's up, and Ash is locked in for GX.
Yeah, very, very quick. And it does make a lot of sense. Very strong, very easy to try and play through, and just enables a lot of those junglers as well that want to be more of those fighters, those skirmishes in the early game. So I have to see what Isma wants to try and go for. And how SK are going to respond. Probably Corki Nami or something along these lines, but we'll have to see what the answer is.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about the Ashe Seraphine is, like, you log in the Ashe, I don't think you're ever going to take the Seraphine with a different AD carry, so you're pretty much guaranteed that. SK just assume it's going to be the Seraphine and can now try and pick something that will play into that strong in lane. Varus is one of those options.
I do wonder over the next couple of weeks, though, because they removed the farming farming limit on the supports. If we start to see like Senna Seraphine starting to come through as like a takeaway and stuff, but we'll have to see if that ends up being a thing. Either way, Var's going to be the pick here, answering long range with long range, a lot of clear, a lot of utility, and this was like back if you go a few years, kind of the answer into each other. Back when we had like the prey arrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
The double bow and arrows.
Yes. Yeah.
Both with CC ultimates. They're basically the same champ.
Exactly.
If you really squint.
I was gonna say.
And maybe just close your eyes. But Mundo going to be locked in for Skeanz either way to create a lot of space, because Varus, what he does need is things that can make space for him. He does not have a lot of mobility himself.
No, definitely does not. I'm curious what they want to try and pair with this Varus on the bottom side, though. Maybe something like a Rakan for Mickey, but definitely want something that's going to be able to answer for the Seraphine. And you already have like the Nico and the Karma gone, so potentially just Bard is the answer here.
Well, they're going to go for the jungle instead. I love the Wukong into the Mundo specifically. You use the Cyclone once, you get through that passive, use the Cyclone again, you actually get the CC. So it basically guarantees that you have engage on the Mundo, which sometimes can be tough.
It's also just kind of says, hey, we're just going to farm it out. Kind of handshake and say, look, we're both going to clear relatively well. We're just going to wait for our level 6s. And then as GIANTX, that's where you can really start to come online. Because Mundo isn't really going to be ganking terribly hard in the early stages. So it kind of bypasses that weak spot for Wukong.
And it's a Nivea locked in. I would say not a support, but technically could be. This is kind of a three-way flex. It's most popular in the mid lane, but it has been played top. It has been played support.
It's also like, if anyone was going to bring it out, it'd be Mikyx. This is the man of weird supports. Like, he has for years been trying to get this Twisted Fate support to the main stage. Hasn't happened yet, but maybe we'll see it at some stage. But either way, like, could be a decent answer into that bottom side. We saw it, I believe, in the LCK already, but I can't remember if it was into the Ashe Seraphine. But either way,
I believe it's a non-special as well. But I will say, I'm expecting to not go top lane for the simple fact that Wunder did say on broadcast he's playing Malphite. So
which does give all the information you need to join.
If anything, this is a really draft disadvantage for SK because they didn't play game 1. They have to play it now to make sure they get it in.
He did say he would play it in game 1 though, which already makes me think maybe he was lying.
Wunder's a liar. That's crazy.
I don't know if he is though. Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe he meant to say game 2.
Oh, okay. Or maybe his coach vetoed that. So maybe he intended fully to. Yeah, we can always blame the coach, everybody, as it's Investa ban, it's Rumble ban. So focus on the top side of the Rift with these bans coming through. And again, this Anivia is like a weirdly annoying flex because it does mean that you can't necessarily throw just bans and supports because it could always start down there. I think the top lane makes a lot of sense.
I do think the Anivia probably isn't going support just because usually with the Nivea, you want something that's relatively short range because then you can kind of lock them down with the wall and get the stun and guarantee a lot of follow-up. That's not really how this operates with Ashe Seraphine. They have incredibly long range and can push a lot. So I think it is maybe leader taking it in the mid lane and banning away some of those things that have a little bit long range. But the Mel actually kind of helping out SK, honestly, in that regard. Because but still saying we don't really know where this Anivia is going.
Exactly, right? Like a Mel ban is almost always just a mid lane ban. So, which means like they're respecting can be flexed around. As I'm hearing from producers, Mikyx has been playing a couple of Anivia games on the solo queue accounts. He's got 12 currently.
God only knows what that man's playing. I looked at his account today at Cassante support. Like what do you want? Like that man plays everything.
Yeah, he does play everything. I don't think it's going to be the Anivia as the rel is locked in. Recently buffed on the last patch, so some numbers adjusted, a little stronger right now. Have we seen it in LEC? I at least haven't casted any.
No, okay. Not so far. So definitely the first one of this year. Maybe not of this year, but definitely of the split. As you say, got buffed, got decent damage, got some speed ups as well, which kind of help it out. And I think you're going to need it. Also, crucially, has the Shattering Strike that can clear shields. So especially against the Seraphine can be very handy in getting rid of that W. Either way, though, you're still quite reliant on like mistakes really from Noah and Jun where they position too far forward. It is hard to close the gap as well against these two.
Yeah, the amount of slows you got to get through from the volley, even Ashe autos, you know, it's basically flash engages is what you're looking for. As Renekton, the safe kind of blind pick top lane, again, not knowing where that Anivia's going, and then the Ahri for mid lane here.
It's Anivia top.
It's Anivia top. And I want to correct myself because production let me know that it's actually Wunder that had 12 solo queue games. Mikyx only had 5 of Anivia. But still, like we've seen this from Wunder. He's pulling it out for a second time now. Anivia top.
G2 had Pyke. SK has Anivia. The triple flex.
Equally as hype, you know? Scaling late game, infinite CS wave clear versus like reset city crazy assassin. You know, kind of the same amount of dopamine, right?
Yeah, it's like, you know, the loot box like figurines that you open where you don't know what loot figurine you're getting. It feels like that, where it's like, oh, I hope I get G2 Pyke. And we got SK and Nivea at home. You know?
Hey, the dopamine of just pressing R and wall and clearing an entire wave.
It is good.
That feels good.
Yeah.
It's up there with like Sivir, static shiv Sivir, which is unnecessary. But you know, you just auto once and clear an entire wave. It's like sometimes you just play for the clicky sounds on your screen. As coaches will give the fist bumps here. We got SK versus GX game 2. GX are up in the series, but SK lean back on another kind of out-of-pocket pick here. It was Leader expanding his champion pool. Now it's Wunder expanding his champion pool. SK are showing that they are growing as a squad and they are trying new things to pick up wins.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be a case of SK hoping that they can get a lead and then find fights on their terms. Because otherwise, I feel like the same thing's going to happen as the last game. You've got a ton of mobility through mid-jungle, long range on the bot lane, great ways to enable a Wukong and Renekton in fights as well. Like, it feels like GIANTX have a very easy, well-rounded composition, whereas for SK, it's kind of a bit more individually focused with presence in the bottom lane to try and seek engages.
And it's also, I mean, it's funny to say, like, back to comfort when it's Wunder's second time playing Anivia, but for Leader, you know, Silas is a champion he's very much known for, these melee mid laners. So I'm liking that they're leaning back on that for him as well. Only one of them can play something new at a time.
Okay,
so Leader plays his melees and Wunder plays Anivia, then Wunder will play something and then Leader gets to play Ori, you know. Also, he played Ahri last week, which is not something he's known for either. But GX currently have forward position on this bottom brush, and we'll get some trade onto the bot lane. Nice route there from Jun, as Jopa and Mikyx take a worse trade.
Yeah, Mikyx basically just hopping into the wall because he's like, I'm not getting this engaged, so I'm going to give myself the shield instead. And this is kind of the downside of Rel in this scenario. There's very little that you can do. You are kind of waiting for that level 6 and for your jungler to come down in the hopes that you can make a play. But Mundo, as we said already, not exactly the exceptional ganker, so I'm waiting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, Mundo can't really provide a lot of like pressure relief outside of just, you know, if the Rel, again, flash engages.
Yeah.
I'm really like, if ever Mikyx doesn't have his flash, it's bad news.
He may have to burn his flash.
He may have to. No, he goes for the crash down, still rooted up here as damage falls up from Noah and Jun, who hit the level 2 early. Saves flash, but it's at the detriment of him not having a health bar anymore.
Yeah, that's less than ideal. Going to get interrupted here as well. Follow-up not going to hit. But Mikyx's going to be very late for this, and it does mean that Jopa will probably take a decent chunk of damage trying to get the CS under tower, because that is a huge wave. So maybe GIANTX, I'm curious if they do stick around and just look for a quick reset themselves.
I mean, they could go for the reset, or they could do the Giga Chat and try and dive this. I mean, like, if Jun is able to land the right stuff, there is cleanse, though. And also, yeah, Skeanz is in the neighborhood, so scary to go for it. They will just back off, and Jopa will be behind CS for right now, but he'll catch as much of this under the turret as he can.
Nice early plays for Noah and Jun, though, so already off to a great start. Mikyx immediately having a poor time as he gets back. Leader hasn't been able to get these aggressive trades, though. With the way the wave is positioned, it's in a terrible spot for him. Really, what you want as the Silas is to constantly be taking these aggressive trades, using the Kingslayer to heal back up, and then basically just trying to nullify the early damage from Ahri, stop her from being able to poke you out of lane. But with the wave pushing the opposite direction, Leader not really able to do so. So we'll have to look for the quick reset and fight another day.
Yeah, and I mean, with the Ignite on both mid laners, it can get real explosive real fast in there. So anytime you're low on health bar, it's not one of those situations where like, it's fine. It's like Rise versus Anivia or something. So like, there's not a lot of kill threat. Nope, there is a lot of kill threat as Jack gets the electrocute onto Skeanz and pushes him back, and he'll go for a reset now as well.
Yeah, but it denies Skeanz from being able to get the grab. So Isma getting a double scuttle here. Very nice early game, and just playing off the back of again. Jackie's outplaying Leader in the mid lane.
Yeah, and this is like kind of Isma's MO with the team right now. Is we saw this last week as well. He's getting these big leads in the jungle, but it's from his solo laner setting him up immaculately. Very impressed with just how the team has helped set up Isma to be this kind of monster carry and kind of define this play style. As we see, even just like this last game, yeah, he was a little behind from like the XP department and such, but then he gets all these kills and is like just hard carrying through the ganks and the lanes.
Yeah, got 2 quick kills on that top side, which helped out off of that invade that Skeanz went for. But again, I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head there. The most successful version that we've seen from GIANTX this split has been enabling Isma with invades through bottom side, just trying to get him into this early lead, and then enabling him to be a carry. And I think it's worked out great for GIANTX. Did in the last game. We'll have to see now if they can do so once more here against SK.
Yeah, he gets the double scuttles and is now back to the clears, has the Sheen picked up. Meanwhile, Skeanz going back to his full clear. So it's essentially just going to be a double scuttle lead for Isma, as both junglers are about matched in their second clears right now. And I will favor a Wukong hitting level 6 early 10 times out of 10. Again, I talked about how I like it into the Mundo to begin with, because you can just get past the passive with double Cyclone, but also just strong in general.
But this is the thing, you can't hit level 6 now with Skeanz off of that grab anymore because you lost that first one. So you now have to kind of go back into your own jungle and take it. So it opens up a lot more opportunities for Isma when he wants to try and play out on the rest of the map. So I now want to see what the plan is for Skeanz, because it's just not in the best of positions right now.
As you can see, the crowd is waiting in anticipation for the first big moment of this game. GX right now have a slight lead on their jungler, but it's only through these clears. No kills yet on either side here, as the junglers will both go for another reset right now. So not going to be contesting for that early dragon. And okay, top lane, I'm imagining this is just a farm fest at all times.
Yeah, Skeanz looks a little uncertain as to what he's up to. He started his recall several times, and there, I think the call is, do we do dragon or what do we do here? And the ward went down, but they're going to continue on towards the dragon, knowing that Isma would want to go for that top scuttle crab and hit level 6. So this is basically the trade-off we're getting. Again, kind of similar to the last game, with Skeanz focusing on getting this early dragon and trying to focus on getting that going for SK, versus GIANTX and Isma, who are kind of focused more on that individual lead for Isma. Isma and playing through that.
Yeah, and I love this call from Skeanz because it basically gives Isma a tough call. Either you contest me with that ult, or you go for the ult and give me the dragon. Isma does go for the latter. Will hit 6 earlier, but that means that the dragon stacking begins for SK.
Yeah, but look at the invade that's meant to come through from the Wukong. Basically saying, cool, you know what? I'm going to have this level 6. I can use that advantage. And Lot sticking around as well because he knows that Isma's going to be in his corner.
He did not complete the recall. He's going to go for a proxy clear. Skeanz spots him, and Lot, he might be able to bait Skeanz in here if he plays as if his jungler's not right behind him. Wunder's walking in. Lot will actually go up to clear the wave. Wunder gets some damage onto Lot, throws down the ultimate, has the wall as well. As Isma not actually looking to start the fight here, and now with Leader coming up as well, it is a Lot flashing the wall to get out. Isma will get the red buff at the cost of his top laner summoner spell.
Yeah, Lot kind of stuck around a little bit too long there. I think they could have just taken the camp and got away, even if Lot wanted to help on securing that buff just to make sure it got down fast enough. Still, flash down for Lot. Probably not the end of the world, but here we go.
Engaged. The Chain of Corruption follows up. Jun flashes, and the auto follows. It's first blood to Mikyx as Noah's free firing, focused onto Jopa. Flashes for the damage, trying to get one last auto, will land it. Now Mikyx in a 1v1 onto Noah. Noah hits level 6 and throws out the arrow. He's still autoing. He gets hit by the crash down, tries to dodge, gets away from the shattering strike as Mikyx needs one more auto, and he gets it. Mikyx with 2 kills.
It nearly looked dire in the bottom lane, but Mikyx able to get one back. Noah had a great flash in that play to get over the arrow, but we'll see it here. It's that level 6 that we were talking about. Immediately they could turn on to Jun, finish him off, and then turn back over towards Noah. But Noah ends up finishing off Jopa with a great flash we said over the arrow, but off the kill, and then this minion dying as well, hits 6, which means that then he throws out the arrow to Mikyx, but Mikyx also leveled up in the middle of the fight. So by getting the extra point in the W, has a slightly bigger shield, and then is able to get that E in the unmented form to get the kill. Little messy, but it works out.
And also, Noah flashing in, I believe, to get vision in the brush, too, because I don't think there was a ward in there at the time.
Yeah.
Either way, that was a very close call. Noah almost turns it, but Mikyx shows up big.
I think the only unfortunate part is but both kills went towards Mikyx, whereas on Noah, at least he got that early kill. Now, you're still going to match in terms of items, but definitely just something to look out for as this game goes on.
And that's the danger of flashing that far to get the Seraphine kill. It's hard for, I mean, you saw all the CC landed. That was Rel crash down. It was the Chain of Corruption. It was the Shattering Strike. And still, Seraphine's shield is enough to make it so that, like, she's able to get the heal off. She's able to get the flash off. And then you have to flash forward into Noah, who's just auto-attacking you the whole time. Now Leader in a 1v1 against Jackie's. The charm goes wide, but Isma, Warrior Trickster forward. Leader should be safe for right now. Isma has the flash if he really wants to force something.
Ash
as the Ash Arrow comes up and not able to land on its target. Leader jumps over the wall. Heal for Mikyx. Now flash in! Using Jun as the escape tool, but the ultimate will land, and it's a trade of kills. Leader will fall for the enemy support, but Mikyx as well makes it a 2-for-1 trade and a double kill for Isma.
SK trying to save the mid laner and ends up coming out trumps for GIANTX. They get the double kill on that bottom side and looking for Jopa again.
Jopa all alone right now. No Seraphine behind him. Isma will throw down the bonk, tank up the turret, and that is an easy kill setup for Noah.
Not also just trying to be a pain here towards Skeanz, but I don't think he'd be able to do particularly much. Still, GIANTX, good recovery on the play. Really well done to pick up these 4 kills now for themselves and an early lead.
Netting themselves 1,000 gold lead, a lot of that on the jungler. Let's get a replay of the play because it starts in the mid lane with the Leader escape attempt.
Well, this is the thing. When you're playing as a Silas, you have to play hyper-aggressive on the wave. So in that attempt, Isma ends up reading it and goes towards Leader. They make this play on towards the support here. But with that charm, Leader doesn't get the ultimate off in time, which doesn't actually buy the space then for the rest of SK. And Jackie's able to follow up beautifully. Then Leader mid again.
To mid lane and back to Leader, struggling here. No flash available this time around. He'll try and Kingslayer to heal back up, but Jackie's with one more auto will take him down. GX again punishing the melee mid laner.
And I think this is where the fact that you haven't been able to set up a lot of vision around this mid lane is coming back to bite SK. Like traditionally you want to have a jungler that can set up a lot of that control, but if you actually look at the map, there's just a lot of like defensive vision that's been set up by SK in their own jungle. So like you don't actually have that vision control that Silas needs to play aggressive. So he's getting caught out, and it's well played by GIANTX to kind of force these plays because you know that this is the only way Silas can match.
Yeah, and when he doesn't have flash, he doesn't have a lot of tools to get away from you either. He's got one mobility spell, and his ultimate was on cooldown as well. So Jackie's and Jun finding a nice window there, and now Dragon has spawned. The gold lead has grown a little bit since that last fight on the bottom side, but now Leader takes the Spirit Rush with a hijack. Flash out from Jackie's. Leader not able to find the solo kill there.
Skeanz just pressuring here on the bottom side. I don't think you end up winning this one though, especially as that ultimate is back up for Isma, but they want to look.
Lands on the Skeanz, and now they turn their attention. Isma's on the Leader. Again, no flash available, and no ultimate this time around. He falls. Jackie's with the kill. Noah chased down by Skeanz. He's trying to get as much damage before he goes down, but it's a 2-for-1 trade up for SK so far, as Mikyx gets another kill for himself. Isma trying to trade onto Jopa, but the shutdown for Skeanz before it happens. SK's bot laner holds his line.
This early game is nuts. 6 kills each side, not even 12 minutes into the game. It's a bloodbath. Even there, Wunder moving down to see if he needed to be involved. TP's back up to the play, but it will be a second dragon and some kills for SK. And it's off of this push, but Isma, instead of moving towards this bottom side, immediately jumps onto Leader. I think they can burst out with Jackie's, but it leaves Noah and Jun completely isolated.
Yeah.
Jopa with a great ultimate catches on towards Jun, and Noah just doesn't have enough in the tank to play off against 3 members of SK. And with the flick back from Mikyx, it's one more kill for the SK lineup.
And a shutdown to boot for Skeanz. That was a gold advantage for Isma earlier, but now Skeanz is shortening that. Although, now that I say it, it really is only Mikyx currently with the gold advantage, but the overall team gold is dead even. You're going to favor the Dragons at that point. They've stacked up too early.
But it's also just like, with gold being relatively even, then the Mountain Dragon does actually give you that extra value, the Cloud Dragon as well. So, oh, hang on, no.
Mikyx looking for the plan to Noah. Flash out from Ashe, and Noah gets to safety.
Yeah, again, like, I like the way SK are playing this. Like, Leader is not letting up in this mid lane, constantly looking for these plays like you have to. Same with Mikyx. He has 4 kills in this bottom lane as the Rel. But honestly, in this style of matchup, that's how you have to play, just like a complete psychopath, so that then you can actually find these engages and not get poked down. If you're constantly trading health, the all-in is what wins, but here we go.
Skeanz looking at Jackie's right now. Spirit Rush used, and he's fine. He got some good damage on the Leader as well, so Skeanz is basically just helping to relieve some of that pressure as Lot's going for the all-in onto Wunder right now. Pops the Dominus, flash out from Wunder. Must have not had the Frostbite available, as now it will go out there, so Lot getting on top of him, getting a Summoner spell, and we'll push another wave. Wunder will stick around, though, as the Glacial Storm will drop it down.
Oh, it has to press the attack, though. That's a lot of damage.
Big damage, as he doesn't quite have enough.
Oh, it's a couple of minion auto attacks, and it might have just been enough, but yeah, a lot. Trying to get that revive passive out, but just not quite able to.
It was close. I respect the attempt, but Wunder with the Rod of Ages completed. He's got a lot of health and also just healing up whenever he's pressing those abilities. So he stays alive for then, backs off, and will walk back towards, actually the mid lane is looking like where he's pathing currently. So we have a lane swap as Leader's heading towards the top side to match Jackie's.
With the focus being on that Rift Herald, that's about to spawn in 50 seconds. First item's basically completed across the board, so SK kind of comfortable to compete on this mid wave, looking for Jun.
Mikyx going in, Jun sidesteps, Encore lands, Chain of Corruption chained, and now Isma dives onto Jopa. Everyone from GX throwing their abilities at the young AD carry. Noah now stuck on the other side of the wall. Isma stunned up, cannot kill Mikyx, double kill to Wunder. SK's top laner roams mid and finds 2.
Great timing from Wunder there. Has to try and get back to bot lane so they don't lose a tower, but you can see Jopa there. A little bit of a grin on his face. Knew he falls, but end up with a win again for SK. They're finding these small picks constantly.
Yeah, that was the Encore, that was the arrow. I mean, I believe he cleansed the Encore immediately. The arrow still landed, then Isma jumps in, but because they used all that on one person, now SK have the cooldown advantage as Lot is not able to take that turret. Wunder can make it down there and catch the wave.
And that is the benefit of cleanse into these sort of games, because it reduces still the next CC that hits you as well, which is basically what you see. So Jun ends up getting caught, gets the Encore out, then the cleanse happens, but it reduces the ultimate a lot. The problem is that there's a monkey in your face, and that never ends well. So it ends up being the kill going across to Isma, but Mikyx besting. I'm not going into my past history as we get onto this play again.
Hijack onto Spirit Rush from Leader as Jackie's looks to continue the chase. Lot coming in from a flank. They have the turret turret to back up on. Charm, well, I don't know if that landed on Skeanz. Either way, Leader's in some trouble. Low health bar. Skeanz buying him space. Beat drop will land, but it's only the slow onto Skeanz as Isma's in the brush. He has the damage to look for an assassination, but he was not confident enough to look at Leader there. Have the flash available. We'll look at the Krugs instead. Is now Leader and Skeanz push Isma back. Warrior Trickster over the wall.
Fancy footwork from Leader on that play, though. Uses the Kingslayer to close the distance onto the Renekton to then get that Ari out, our ult, last charge out. Really nicely played, and Leader ends up surviving off the back of that. Could have been very messy otherwise.
Absolutely could have. As, you know, 2 low health bars, but they are able to back off. It's 2 hard champions to actually kill. Leader did not even use the rocket belt, which we are still on rocket belt watch. This one makes a lot more sense, I will say. This is a very traditional rocket belt wielder. Just wait till Janky's finishes his, though.
That's going to be carry. Rel is the true carry in this one, though. So I think that's where we got to focus on, though. 4-1-4.
Think about it. Rocket belt Rel. Yeah.
I mean, it rhymes. That means it has to be correct. But at least the alliteration.
Kind of. Yeah. A lot of...
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to try that one. I'll go back to the hotel after this. I'll try it on the hotel Wi-Fi, and then we'll see if it works.
I'm ready.
I'll be the barometer as Lot right now in the bottom side. Picks a brush, spotted out on the ward. SK will push him back, and he's just going to go back to the wave.
Preemptive TP from Anivia to the mid lane, though. Basically trying to clear out this wave so SK can establish themselves in river. So he's going to make it tough for GIANTX to try and play both sides, especially as you have the Rift Herald here for Skeanz. So maybe an offensive carry here.
Yeah, Dragon's the focus right now as it's going to be GX approaching. Lot's coming up from the bottom river. He has a flank angle. Not spotted currently. Now Mikyx will see him, so they know that the Crocodile's on the flank. Instead, Leader goes in and hijacks Noah's arrow, as the arrow will actually land on the Wunder. Charm as well follow up. It's hard to kill the Anivia. He survived for so long, and it's actually Isma that goes down. Wunder to the passive. Lot marked on the flank. They will get the shutdown, but Lot will trade his life. They can't kill Skeanz. The Mundo's too strong. Double kill by Jopa, as GX will only find 1 for their troubles. Now Mikyx looking to continue the play as Jun flashes it over the wall. Noah gets a big chunk of damage right there. Message sent. SK win the fight, and we'll look at the Dragon.
SK juggled their health bars really well in that fight. You end up using the Anivia passive to buy a bunch of time, and even the ult usage was perfect. We'll get it on the replay. But as Isma went in, he got immediately met with an arrow to the face thanks to Leader. And it just couldn't get that ultimate off. So Wunder ends up buying a bunch of time. So obviously has the shield still from the teleport in. But watch as you go forward. Leader, immediate ult onto Isma. Isma can't get the knock up. Then you get the root, which allows Wunder to buy enough space so they can kind of deal with a lot of the back line. And at this stage, that health bar that's on the Anivia is just letting SK free hit. It's an attempt at the follow-up, but as Skeanz backs away using that ultimate to heal up, Leader manages to flash out on low HP as well. Mikyx, I think, predicting the flash here, gets it wrong. Jun flashes over the wall, but SK still going to be able to take 2 and the Dragon.
Yeah, the amount of times I've seen teams not be able to kill an Anivia fast enough. I mean, it's a big health bar with the Rod of Ages complete. I know you're a mage, but you're one of the tankier ones.
Especially when you get that health shield as well. It just adds so much durability there. So again, Wunder making sure that that TP shield goes to use. And now SK feeling confident. Like a little bit of a gold lead for themselves. 3 dragons. The ability to start taking these towers now as well. The Jun.
Chain of Corruption lands onto Jun, and it's just that easy. 1 more arrow should be enough. It's actually Skeanz. It will knock him down with the auto attack as Noah just tickling the health bar of Skeanz. Actually getting a lot of work done here as the arrow will also land on him. Instant cleanse right there as he has the Summoner Spellbook. As Jackie's now lands a charm. That one will connect as Mikyx now under the Cyclone, but in comes Leader. Flash from Noah trying to kite back. Leader will get him. It's Jopa with the kill credit as Jackie's will snipe another charm. Lot with the kill. We are scrapping in the mid lane.
It's just throwing haymakers back and forth, seeing if they can pick off anyone. But again, it's Wunder on this top side who's trying to take the tower. Doesn't have the TP. I think this bird is just a sitting duck.
Yeah, about to get cooked. Lot coming up here, has Isma behind him. Wunder will land the slow. That's Dominance popped. Stun to buy some time, but I mean, in these types of moments, you know that you're not long for this world. He actually does go for the flash. So Summoner Spell used there, surprising, and will still die.
From sitting duck to silly goose, the Wunder story. But as SK underneath this tower, I mean, it's a great pick. They get Jun immediately, and then at that stage, I think, okay, we could probably try and back away, but Noah's doing so much work in getting the slow. It's a good cleanse from Mikyx. But as they get Leader coming up, They try and go for the re-engage, which was just a bit too much. They didn't expect Jackies to be there.
Yeah.
Mikyx falls immediately. Skeanz is still very low. Leader does get Noah low enough so that then Jopa can finish him off. But with Leader going down as well, it's a 2-for-2 on the play. And maybe with the TP, it's worth it, but I think at this stage, SK would much rather be slowing this pace down and hoping that they can start to take objectives and towers.
And Wunder falling at the very end of that as well, not ideal. Jackies gets a wave to shove in bot side, and we'll take this turret. That is one to the side of GX, their first one of the game now. Just over 21 minutes at this point, so... Yeah, I mean, it's a close one. SK still have a small gold lead, but they have the Dragon stacked in 2 minutes time until that Soul fight. The fact that GX have not been able to get a single one of those means that they're in the pressure seat right now. They're going to have to stop SK from getting this approach. Mikyx can be a good place to start as the charm will land on a Wunder. Follow-up Cyclone from Isma, and they cook the bird again. Isma on a killing spree.
Nice job by GIANTX, and I think, again, this is kind of where you can fight back. It's been Jun who's been the focus of SK to try and pick him off, but if you can actually get Wunder off of the page or get Leader off the map, you're in a much stronger spot as GIANTX to push in wave and try and just get vision for this dragon.
From sitting duck to silly goose to fried chicken. There we go.
Lovely, yeah.
That's
I see
the
you're
full
getting that new Swain skin, yeah?
Yeah. It's a fantastic skin. As the arrow will go wide there from Noah. Jopa's able to sidestep that one. Does not have to use the cleanse. Because now it's just a fight for this mid lane control. Jackie's going over the wall with the Spirit Rush. Charm will land on a Mikyx, flashes back. Shattering Strike onto Isma, as he will Warrior Trickster back to safety. So no one goes down on either side, but that is ultimate expended from Jackies as well as Jopa.
Yeah, again, just GIANTX fishing for these picks, hoping they can get something in their favor beforehand. And you got Leader moving across. The GIANTX are playing very far back. They do not want to get themselves picked before this Soul fight in a couple of seconds.
It's going to be 35 until that spawns. So Spirit Rush, I think it'll still be on cooldown just slightly when it starts, so we won't see Jackies have the option to like look for that big pick right before the fight.
Yeah, you can see now again, Wunder TPing in with just shy of 30 seconds before this fight kicks off. But you're still seeing like 2 items not completed there for Leader in the mid lane. You're very close to a third for Wunder, but not quite able to make it happen either. So it's going to be a tough fight here.
A lot on the flank right now, as Leader's going to walk straight into it. Dominus Renekton, heavy chunk, heavy trade in favor of Lot. Leader also getting followed up by Noah. He's got a flashback to safety. Not how SK wanted to start this one off, as GX have now already kind of won the health bar trade to kick things off, as Leader will head towards that mid lane, try and push that one instead.
Yeah, still though, he doesn't have the TP to try and get back in. Random Ignite. Jackies goes in
with the Spirit Rush as Isma gets onto the back line. Jopa needs to kite back. Lot trying to follow up, and he gets the shutdown. Now back to the Dragon. Charm lands in onto Mundo. He's out of there. Jun gets a kill on a Skeanz, so no smite contest. GX defend the Dragon and stop the stacking of SK.
I mean, it was 2 good plays in that from GIANTX. One was getting that early burn on towards Leader, and 2, this Jackies Isma combo making stuff happen. The focus goes onto Ari, which buys enough attention grabbing for Isma to dive onto the back line. And even here, Skeanz thinks he can pick off Jackies, but ends up giving his life. And at that stage, no jungler. It's GIANTX who can pick up the objective.
Beautifully played from Jackies right there. Spear rushing in, spear rushing again, gets the Foxfire, gets the Rocket Belt, and still survives, but back to live. GX want more. They get the Dragon, they deter the Soul, and now they're looking at the Bear, and SK is going to be approaching this one, but Skeanz is all the way back in base. They can TP Lot up here. Leader's on the flank. He picks up the arrow. Mikyx has no ultimate available, so no gravity well to help out, as Lot's just keeping Wunder out of this fight. The Chain of Corruption lands here onto Jackies. Baron is secure. GX now need to get out of there, as Skeanz has joined in. Leader in a 1v4. He likes those odds for now, but he will fall. SK lose their mid laner. Still have a 4v5 and a health bar trades, but the charm will go wide. Lot's not quite there either. GX trying to get out of this position, but they have too many members on the wrong side right now. SK are just grouped up, and now they're engaged on. Isma gets a Cyclone. Focus on the Jopa, but it's only Jun hitting him. Lot's got to get in there. Wunder already takes down Isma, and they got Jopa. But now GX just pincering the rest of SK in the alcove. Double kill to Jackies. And they're going to get Wunder's passive plus the ace. GX find it all.
SK thought they needed to get the Baron off of GIANTX, but they might have just got themselves out of this series. They engage immediately on toward Jackie's, but he's able to spear rush away. And Leader realizes that Lot's going to cut him off, so tries to go for the engage, but it might have been a little bit early. SK couldn't quite get into range. So GIANTX once more, they kite back, they corral SK, and once SK all group up, Isma sees his opportunity. He is going to fall, but it's a great engage. The immediate knock-up sets up then for Jun and Noah to just continue peppering down these members of SK. And as the Crocodile gets into the middle of them, it's just lights out for SK.
Yeah, it took a while to get on the Jopa, but they did eventually take him down. And honestly, I think that was a moment where the Anivia wall kind of hurt them more than it helped them, because Skeanz can't walk through that. They wanted to keep the chase going, but Wunder threw it up, and then they're like, okay, well now we have to kind of wait for that to go down before we can actually get in there. GX with the Baron, and now with a large gold lead, will continue sieging onto these tier 2 turrets. They take down the bottom one. Mid one's already chunked a little bit here, so GX on the precipice of a 2-0 right now, Dagda. They play clean, but as I say that, June might just get picked. Lands the encore on the Skeanz and Mikyx, but the team is not interested in getting picked with them. They will let him be the sacrifice. Wunder finds the kill.
Yeah, there are certain support players that kind of get the Enchanter pass.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Jun has really earned his one yet. There's been a couple of times this game where he's got caught out in off positions. Either way, though, the engages have been swell from him, and now it's just a case of, well, giving a little bit of time back to SK to get waves into positions. But realistically, I think you're still fine as GIANTX. The only piece that you're worried about is a potential smite steal on that dragon, because it can still give soul even when you're in a good position like this.
Yeah, and even when you're in a good position, you're still trying to deal with the engage of a Rel, a Varus poking you down, full lethality, Wunder just being annoying on the Anivia. So it's like, job's not done for GX. They're going to have to play this next dragon approach cleanly, but they will be approaching it with a close to 4,000 gold lead right now. A lot of that being on the top half of the map. Lot with the lead, Isma with the lead, GA completed on the Wukong. And we also have the Medjai's picked up by Jackie's here as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes long, and Wunder just barely able to sidestep that one.
Yeah, just fishing again for picks, and GIANTX has been doing a really good job of getting them. Like, this is what got them back into this game, this kind of combo between Isma and Jackie's. Still though, SK get push on mid, they still have decent vision control down on this bottom side. And with this dragon about to spawn, we're just about to go again.
And Leader has the Seeker's Arm Guard as well, so I always want to keep track of these luxury items going into these pivotal team fights, because if SK can get this, they're back in the game. Dragon Soul will nullify that 4K gold lead, because the amount of gold worth of stats you get from it basically makes it back into an even game, but you're still happier with the Soul overall. And TP early from Wunder, 20 seconds until the dragon spawns. They just want to make sure that everyone's grouped together and ready for it.
Yeah, if you're SK though, this choke point is your best friend. If you can try and kite back into that and use the Wunder Wall to kind of separate out GIANTX, I think you have a chance to play it, but Lot spotted on vision.
Again. He is spotted. All members of SK immediately kite back onto him, and he might be out of position now as Leader will land the abduct. Chains onto Lot as he'll run straight back into Skeanz. He needs the team behind him. Pops the Dominus, slices forward, gets a double stun there as Jackie's now rejoined. Leader into the stasis. Skeanz getting chunked down. Isma dives onto the backline with a Cyclone, and Leader's just dancing around with the Spirit Rush to try and get back to safety, but the Charm will land, and GX take down Leader. A killing spree for Lot, and now the rest of SK are going to have to approach into Fog of War. Mikyx just immediately popped. GX have done it. Denied the entrance to the Dragon Soul, and they will pick up their second dragon of the game.
Yeah, and Isma getting to flash away with just this smidgen of HP, getting enough attention taken on that backside of the fight. We'll see it here, like everything goes onto Lot, but he has the slice and dice now to separate himself. And as everyone turns to try and deal with Lot, it's Jun with a great ultimate that sets up for Isma across the back line. But as everyone turns then to try and deal with Isma, just flashes over the wall.
Yeah. And
there is nowhere for SK to follow up, so Leader gets completely isolated. And that's basically what we were talking about for SK. They wanted to isolate members, but they themselves end up going too far.
Do we give Jun the Enchanter pass now that he got that encore?
Look, he can play team fights, but it's kind of positioning everywhere else has not been wonderful, you know?
Well, that was a beautiful play right there onto 3 and setting up Isma. And now that they've denied another dragon, they're just buying more time for themselves, and they've expanded this gold lead to 5,000. If they can get this next Baron in 30 seconds time, that's the type of gold lead that you're able to just kind of force your way into the enemy base and maybe just close out the game by brute force.
It's also just the sheer damage you're going to get if you can start to stack up some more of these Infernal Drakes is going to make it tough. So for SK, I think you have to start now fishing for picks of your own. And we haven't really seen these big engages come through from Mikyx yet that we kind of were hoping for. He's whiffed on a couple of those crash downs, which has just not been the best of times for SK, but they really need him.
Yeah, that 4-1 stat line as well kind of disappeared as he has not been able to find those big engages. Teleport flank coming in. Skeanz already chunked. Noah picked up by Wunder. Has to instant cleanse and flash the arrow. Lot completes the teleport and is now looking to continue forward with Jackie's help. Charm onto Wunder. He's able to get out of there with the Mikyx, but Lot onto the back line for Leader and Skeanz. GX are just bulldozing through SK. They'll get Wunder's passive. They'll claim Mikyx as well. SK will limp back to base with only 3 members up.
SK tried, but GIANTX did a great TP ward, and that flank may have just sealed the deal as they turn over towards the Baron. It's getting dimmer and dimmer for the SK hopefuls.
Yeah, Noah will start it up, and the rest of the team now backs him up, rather. Jopa's going to try and clear out this mid wave, and we see Leader pushing the bot wave. No contest from SK. It is an earned Baron by GX, their second of the game, and now a 6,500 gold lead.
Yeah, and again, like, this is just great from Loss. He buys so much space. Like, Jopa is entirely separated from the rest of the team, and it means that then GIANTX can turn on 4 remaining members. It was a great Mikyx from Mikyx, but it doesn't matter. GIANTX are encroaching on every side, and Isma and Jackie's have every time got onto key carries to shut down the fight. And honestly, like, this mid-jungle deserves a round of applause. They've done 100%. A fantastic job with this Ashe Wukong combo. Wukong combo.
Noah was not even in the fight. Like, he got hit by the
Anivia.
The Anivia, the Flash Frost. He got to flash away himself. I think he got like 2 autos down in the entire fight. It was all about Lot's TP and then Isma Jackie's damage. And that's where their gold lead was. Like, Noah is not the target right now. SK almost got the Ashe, but then they realized the wallets belong to Lot and Jackie's. And Isma as well.
And now once again, GIANTX just going to push mid, set up vision on this bottom side, enable Jackie's to get pressure on towards this bottom side and take the tower. Yeah, Croc definitely bigger than bird.
Is that lore accurate? Do Crocs win in fights with birds? I'm trying to think. I've never seen
Surely
one.
It depends on which bird, because there's some big birds.
Have you seen a crocodile? Those things are huge.
No. I mean, I've seen the one with Steve Irwin. That's about as far as it's gone, you know?
Pretty big.
I come from Ireland. We don't exactly have things that harm you over here, you know?
Jackie's goes in for the Spear Rush Charm, and Wunder will immediately pop the Seeker's Arm Guard. And it will stop the dive from happening, but Skeanz just getting chunked. This is a paper-thin Mundo. He's got all armor, fully indexed into surviving Isma, Lot, and Noah, which means Jackie's can shred through him as GX will take the first inhibitor in the mid lane and look at the inhibitor turret bot.
Oh, Wunder though. Sidestep.
Nice little sidestep. He's dodging everything. Finally, the beatdown will land. Encore onto 2. Jopa will pop the cleanse as Mikyx also just crash adds to safety. Now Isma just diving the turret, has a Cyclone available with the backup of Lot, with the backup of Jackie's. Everybody under the turret. That's 1-for-1 trade so far, but with Skeanz falling, it's GX on the victory lap. Noah free firing onto everybody, and SK's young AD carry Jopa can only watch as the Nexus turrets will fall. GX will claim SK in a 2-0 victory.
It was a decent start for SK, but GIANTX is mid-jungle putting in work to get this game back into a winning position.